710 KNUS in Denver.
It's not our show. We didn't know that. We didn't know when that comes in.
710 KNUS in Denver.
Yeah, filling in for the Peter Broyles Show. Jeff and Bill down in Pueblo on the campus of CSU Pueblo here in Messiah Arena. It is finally getting kicked off a couple hours late. Yeah, finally, though, the festivities.
Some people are in, some people are out.
Yeah.
Victor Marks joining us, just talking about the tailgate party
nice.
he's hosting out there. So.
Super smart.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. Very smart.
I know, especially when it's running late.
Oh, yeah.
We've had a series of speakers. Gabe Evans addressed the crowd. What did you think, Billy? I think pretty warm reception.
Oh, yeah, very warm reception. I think it's needed to have that wind in his back because he is in one of the most competitive districts.
Right.
And he needs to have enthusiasm. And it's great to start off with him and to remind everybody how important he is.
Lauren Boebert, big round of applause. People liking her. So oftentimes you hear criticism. They'll go, well, they didn't vote the way I wanted on this. But look, for a candidate, it's a big test to walk in here and get a sense from the crowd.
Yes.
Yeah, they might be some keyboard warriors out there that don't like you. But walk into this room gives you a real sense of how people feel. Well, Billy, we have another candidate with us. She's got you're welcome to put those on or not. I know it takes, when you're working on your hair, you don't want to necessarily wear headphones. So I get it.
That's why we got the little ones.
Priscilla Teigen's joining us now. She's running for House District 15. She's part of a great power couple that includes Tig Teigen. You remember him from 13 Hours out there fighting terrorists, Al-Qaeda terrorists, essentially, trying to defend the ambassador. Remarkable movie that we all love, but he lived it. We'll talk to Tig here in a second, but the other part of that great power couple is Priscilla Teigen. She's running for House District. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
No, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So tell us about your district. Where is it?
So House District 15 is in El Paso County, and it's the east side of Colorado Springs. So if you know Powers Boulevard, all the way to Woodman, Mark Shuffle, all the way down a little bit to like Fountain, around the airport, a little bit of Colorado Springs. So everything east of that. So it's a pretty big district. It's an amazing district. It's been conservative for a very long time, and so we need to keep it that way.
Well, it sounds like it. Who's currently in that seat?
Right now, the current representative, his name is Scott Bottoms.
Oh, yeah.
He's been representing that district very well, and it's very strong in its values, not just because of his leadership right now, but also prior leadership, too. So they've been leaving a great legacy of strong conservative values.
Now, Scott Bottoms is running for governor, so he can't run for two seats, so he's essentially given up that seat in order to run for governor. Are you endorsing him for governor?
I am. Personally, I am. Yes. And not because...
No, it's fine.
It's loud.
We're trying to do a live interview while Scott Pressler's up on the main stage.
Yeah. It's loud out here, guys. It's loud.
Energy.
Yes. So I was asked by Representative Scott Bottoms to take his seat back in February of 25.
Oh, so you were kind of handpicked by him. Huh?
Yes. Yeah.
What did he see in you?
I believe just because, I work for Truth and Liberty. I don't know if a lot of people know about Truth and Liberty. It's a great organization, ministry, civically engaged ministry throughout the state of Colorado, and been in the fight for a while, obviously, and I believe he just seen me, and I worked with a lot of pastors throughout the state, and he was one of them back in 2020, 2021, that he was one of the civically minded pastors that we found throughout the state. And so I already knew him from then, being just a pastor and a representative. And so I believe he's seen those core principle values in me also, and just standing for truth, standing for common sense. And so that's where we're at right now.
Do you have a primary opponent?
I don't.
So,
I do have a Democrat. There is a Democrat running, but not a Republican.
But in this district that elects Scott Bottoms, that likes that fiery, feisty, conservative leadership, they're not going to go with the Democrats. So who you're hearing from is very likely, by all accounts, going to be the next state representative from that district, House District 15. Now, Priscilla, give folks your website. How can they learn more about you?
So if you want to learn more about who I am, my website is PriscillaTiganHD15.com. Please look me up. I am also on Facebook and Instagram, so you can get to know me a little more there.
Well, they're going to get to know a lot of you when you're down at the state capitol representing.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Thank you for all what you do.
We'll grab your husband.
Yes.
Bring him in. Could be the next mayor of Colorado Springs. Let's bring Tig in.
Now, right now, Scott Pressler on stage, ramping up the crowd. Everything's just getting underway here on the campus of CSU Pueblo. We are here live, filling in on the Peter Boyle Show. It's Jeff and Bill, and this is the Colorado GOP State Assembly.
All right, joining us now, coming by to swing by with us is Tig Teagan. He is running for mayor of Colorado Springs. Now, let's set the groundwork here. Colorado Springs currently does have a mayor, Yemi.
Which one?
First non-Republican mayor in the city's history. Hasn't done a great job. In fact, from my perspective, I think he knew about the hate crime hoax. I think he escaped prosecution by the hair of his chinny chin chin. But I don't think he's done a good job with the city. I've seen crime rise in the city. It's time for a change. Tig Teagan, are you the right guy to lead the city of Colorado Springs?
Well, I'm definitely going to bring a lot of change, definitely a different attitude, a different look, a different feel. I bring a true backbone. I call the owners of the city, which is all the residents of the city.
So give folks your background.
Marine Sergeant, did infantry 95 to 99, and then I actually went into contracting for about 10 years. I was one of the Benghazi warriors from 9/11 2012.
Who played you in that movie?
Dominic Famusa.
Okay. Yeah. Powerful movie. I mean, you were on the front. You took it right to Al Qaeda. That was exactly. Is that who that was?
Pretty much. I mean, it's the easiest way to describe it. It was actually about 7 of them that came together and attacked the consulate.
Wow.
So.
And now you're ready to bring that spine, that backbone to Colorado Springs. That's a big deal.
No, I mean, it is. It's bringing that somebody who pretty much is an outsider, because I don't sit there. I don't talk with the builders. I don't talk with the big donors. I'm just a person that that's lived in Colorado Springs pretty much his whole life since I was like 3rd grade, 4th grade. And I've seen, the expansion of it. And when I start digging into more things, I encourage everybody else, especially in Colorado Springs, to start digging in. How long have these same issues been going on?
Is Yemi running for re-election?
He is, and after his re-election announcement, he fired his old chief of staff and hired Wayne Williams.
Yeah, tell me about that dynamic. I find that weird.
I don't know. I think same thing. I think it's I just want to know who's running the city then, and who's going to run it in his next 4 years. Is it really going to be Wayne Williams, or is it going to be Yemi, or if he gets reelected? I mean, who's going to do it?
I got to be honest. I find it odd because I think Yemi knew about the hate crime hoax.
Oh yeah.
I think he worked to keep Wayne Williams from getting that job, and is now offering him the chief of staff job. I just don't get it.
It's a political move. It's what it is.
You think he's setting up Wayne Williams to be the next mayor?
I don't know. When I actually ran into Wayne Williams about a month ago at another event, and he said he wasn't going to run again. He had no interest in doing it. But that's politics. People play their side. Nobody's ever direct. Nobody's ever straightforward. Because again, nobody has a backbone. Nobody can tell the truth when they're running.
That's Tig Teagan joining us, the Benghazi hero. He's now running for Colorado Springs. Tig, give people your website.
It's really simple. TIGForMayor.com.
TIGFOR mayor.com. Hey, best of luck to you. You do a fantastic job in that role. Let's there.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Tig Teagan, thank you. Hey, Adam, let's go to Scott Pressler, who's speaking live on stage here. Thank you, brother.
We elected a Republican majority Senate, and I hear from voters across the country, Scott, what is the use of having a Republican majority when they are in power, they do not wield and use that power? And so I'm promise, today is day 101 that I've been calling out respectfully Senate Majority Leader Thune. And if he has a spy that snuck in today, you send this message to the Senate Majority Leader. If he does not give us what we want, the Save America Act, then going into the Texas runoff, I will be endorsing Ken Paxton for the United States Senate to defeat John Cornyn. If Thune will not give us what we want, then we will take away what he has. That is how the Republican Party is going to operate going forward, because we, the people, are in control, not our elected officials. I have a member of my staff filming right now, and so I want to name a couple pieces of legislation, and based on how much you either like or dislike this legislation, I want you to make yourselves audibly heard, okay? And if you don't know the legislation, you can just stay silent. The first piece of legislation, the Brave Burma Act. Nobody knows what that is. Our Senate majority is trying to prioritize the Brave Burma Act. Okay, let's do another one. Second piece of legislation, the Dignity Act. Jaden, are we getting this? To the members of the House and the Senate, are you hearing that the people do not want this? The Road to Housing Act. Nobody knows what these pieces of legislation are. The Save America Act. Okay, I think when we show this to members of Congress, they're going to understand what you want and what we're going to do peacefully if they don't give us what we want. And I will say, we have a lot of women here. Women are the backbone of the Republican Party. Ladies, women are the backbone of the Republican Party. Is there anything, ladies, that upon the passage of the Save America Act that is going to stop, inhibit, or prohibit you from voting? Women, do you know where your marriage certificate is? Women, do you know where your birth certificate is? See, when Hillary Clinton said that men tell women how to vote, oh, she got it so wrong. She doesn't know a thing about women. Because what I know about women is that actually, with all due respect to our husbands and men, it is the women telling the men in the household how to vote. And so again, I ask this question because the Democrats are going to say it is misogynistic for having the Save America Act. One more time. Ladies, is there anything that will stop you from voting in Republicans up and down the ballot this November upon the passage of President Trump signing the Save America Act into law? This has been the greatest honor of a lifetime. After you guys, I'm going straight to Indiana, and Republican legislators that didn't redraw maps, we're going to primary them and challenge them and hold them accountable. After that, I'm going to Virginia because we are not going to allow Hakeem Jeffries to gerrymander the Commonwealth of Virginia, and we are voting no on April 21st to protect President Trump's legacy.
To the Jeff and Bill Show. We are live here at the State Assembly. That's Scott Pressler on the main stage. Scott Pressler on the main stage addressing the crowd, getting them worked up. I mean, he's doing a great job connecting with them, and a good entry point for the for the event today, right?
Yeah,
It seems like the
it looks
energy's
great.
coming up.
Yeah,
in the
energy's
room.
coming up. People are filling in. We got almost all the seats filled in. All the major speeches haven't started yet. We're kind of rallying the crowd. Seats more and more packed. All the different counties around Colorado. Finally, we are going to be going live with some of the speeches here on the Peter Boyle Show. Jeff and Bill filling in live at 710 KNUS.
Joining us now is Rich Guggenheim. You know him from Gays Against Groomers. Rich, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
You are dressed way nicer than most other people here.
I know. You know, if you wear a shirt and a suit and a tie, you got to be running
He
for
does have
something.
style.
I know. The thing is, everybody here that is running for an office has on the coat and the tie. You've broken the dress code.
You running for something here?
I am.
Oh, see, there it is. I knew it.
Surprise.
I knew it. All right, Rich.
I'm Gays Against Groomers. What are you running
Yeah,
for?
what are you running
I
for,
am
man?
running for Senate District 25. That was the seat
excellent,
that Faith
son.
Winters was in before she passed away. And
That's
then
a big seat.
we had
That is.
William Lindstedt appointed in her stead. So it's all of Broomfield County and it's North Glen.
Oh, man. That's fantastic. So, Senate District 25, talk to me so far. You've been out there talking to the voters. What are the issues that matter to them? What are you hearing from them as you chat with them?
Cost of living.
Okay, in what ways? Yeah, what are these complaining about?
I think a lot of people are saying that things are really expensive, and you know when you talk to people and you break it down, it hits us. And if you're a homeowner and you're trying to figure out, one of the biggest areas where they're talking about is their property taxes.
Oh, yeah.
And so for me, one of the big things that I'm going to really talk about is protecting the taxpayer bill of rights, and then we also undo a lot of the regulations and these fees that are. I went out to a restaurant in Adams County a couple weeks ago, and I got the receipt, and on the bottom of that receipt, there's your state sales tax, and then there's a tax, and then there's a tax, and they're not called taxes, they're called fees, but there's like 3 lines of fees underneath it. And so, you know, it's the same thing whether you're trying to go out and eat or go to the grocery store or buy clothes for your kids to go back to school. These fees are hurting the families in Colorado. The working class are struggling. And then you got the other end of that where small businesses are being feed and taxed and regulated. And we see how many of them are leaving Colorado just because of the regulatory environment. It's too costly to do business here. So they're saying we're going to go literally back to California. And so I want to work to repeal some of those, and I want to make it so that we can say that Colorado's economy grows because it's a state where you're free to run your business and live your life the way you want to live your life, because at the end of the day, that is what makes Colorado Colorado. The Colorado way of life is a Colorado of you live your life and I'll live mine, and we don't need the government telling us how to live our life.
No.
Amen to that.
Yeah, that's important. How are you going to push back against the Democrat continued push to dismantle Tabor? That for them is their, I would say white whale, a la Moby Dick. They have been chasing that, and they want to bring down that white whale. How do you push back against it? Because they've slowly been chipping away, as you talk about, moving to fees instead of asking for taxes.
Right.
And now they're actually, starting the PR. Well, they started it about 4 years ago, in my opinion, maybe 5. The PR campaign against Tabor, saying that the reason that we can't do X, Y, and Z, the reason why your schools are failing, the reason why your costs are going up, the reason why these restaurants is because Tabor is in the way. How do you fight back?
They love to hammer Tabor.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna put some of the blame on this on the Republican Party.
Yeah.
The Republican Party has done a non-existent job of messaging, and they haven't done a lot. And when you talk about the polling data that shows where the Republicans and the Independents and the Democrats are, even a majority of the Democrat voters support keeping Tabor.
Yes.
And let's just talk about the math. 50% of Colorado voters are unaffiliated. I'm not trying to reach that 25% of the Republicans because obviously I already have that. And I'm not trying to reach the 25% of the Democrats, although if I can peel off a few here and there, that's great. I would love to have those conversations. Some of it goes back to that, but I think the regulations in place.
Okay, now, Rich, we are wrapping up here. We're coming up on a break. How can people follow you on your campaign? Give us the website. richforsd25.com and on all of the socials at richforsd25. Rich SD25, check him out. He's going to be running in a seat that you're going to need if you support the GOP. We're down here at the state Colorado GOP Assembly in Pueblo, Colorado, filling in for Peter Boyles. This is Jeff and Bill. We are live in Messiah Arena on the campus of CSU Pueblo. We'll be back right after this.
Your KNUS forecast for this Saturday and this entire weekend is a good one for the metro area in the Rocky Mountain West and High Plains region. Temperatures warmer again, a little bit of some possible spring shower and weak thunderstorm activity, especially this afternoon, this evening. But showers and storms throughout the weekend will not amount to anything, and we'll see highs in the mid-70s, lows middle to upper 40s. 70s again Monday, better chance of a few showers and storms late. Tuesday, trending cooler, increasing rain chances. I'm meteorologist Mark Huer on 710 KNUS.
Down at the State Assembly, the Colorado Republican State Assembly in beautiful Pueblo, Colorado, as thousands of Republicans from all over the state have gathered. They all got these signs that represent their counties. You got Douglas over there and Montrose.
Yeah, you guys have watched the big nominating thing you've watched on the TV where you got those signs and it says Colorado and California. Same thing, but counties here. And everybody's like sitting down with their counties so you can kind of see which counties are better representative, who's got a lot of people, and it's nice to see them fill in and see where everybody is. This is a real gathering from throughout the state.
And here's the big deal about today.
Yeah.
By the way, besides Linda Bottoms doing the wave earlier,
that was a highlight.
You were leading the show. We all were talking about
that. Was a fantastic. That was so smart. That was so good. That was good.
So here's the point of today. There's two ways to get on the ballot in Colorado. You can go out there and gather a whole bunch of signatures, and you run into these people outside Home Depot and King Soopers, and oftentimes they're paid signature gatherers, and they're out there collecting. Barb Kirkmeyer did that, and that's how she's hoping to get on the ballot. That hasn't been confirmed yet by the Secretary of State, but that's the route that she took. Other candidates, 18 of them here, are coming into a room with a few thousand people. They're going to take the stage. They're going to be nominated by a big name, a big voice, and then they're going to give their speech, and they have to win the room, at least 30%, in order to get on the ballot. And he is one of the most talked about candidates here. I mean, he's got signs, T-shirts, the energy and the excitement definitely behind Scott Bottoms, who joins us now. Representative, thanks for being on the Jeff and Bill Show.
Yes, thank you.
This is awesome. The day is awesome. The electricity in this room is powerful. It's going to be a great day. I've been waiting for this for months. This will definitely clean out the kind of the clutter in the crowd.
That's right.
And head us in toward the primary.
Let's preview your speech. Who's going to be nominating you? Can you tell us that?
I will tell you, but don't tell anybody in this room yet. Okay?
Yeah.
So I have been begging for quite a few weeks for my wife to nominate me. She's a delegate, and I want her to nominate me, and we were back and forth, and she doesn't like to do this kind of thing, but she's a good 80% of this campaign, so I'm asking her to nominate me.
Describe your wife,
nice.
because I've met her on a few occasions. She's incredibly kind. She's a strong Christian woman, but full of energy.
Yeah, she got that crowd doing the wave
She
earlier.
got the crowd doing the wave earlier.
Yeah.
So,
So much personality.
Describe your wife and your marriage to her.
Okay. All right.
Wasn't expecting this question today.
I wasn't.
She's going to be nominated.
All right.
You know, I think people
Yeah.
gives them a little preview to see
I
what's
like
going to
this.
come.
So we've been married 35 years. We got married at 20 years old.
Oh, wow.
I haven't seen her run in probably 20 years. And she was running up and down this room trying to get people excited. And everybody comes across her, loves her. She is the most honest person I've ever met. She's the most hardworking person I've ever met. She is a top-tier leader, has been in our church fellowship, the Assemblies of God, for years. She was the Assistant Christian Ministries Director for Colorado and Utah for 22 years. So she's the real deal all the way around. I knew I married up. I just didn't tell her until about 10 years after we were married.
That's a smart man.
Lock
But,
the deal down.
yes.
Yeah, that's
no,
right.
she really is the bedrock of our family, of just our church, everything. She is truly the kind of person I believe that most women would love to be.
So
now,
she is going to be introduced.
yeah, now Scott Bottoms. Now Scott Bottoms is running for governor. Said his wife's going to be giving him an introduction today. He is one of the many, many candidates that are giving a speech. This is somewhat of a personal question, sir, but after we're already talking about your marriage, I think it is appropriate.
Okay.
What was the moment that you turned and you looked at your wife-to-be and knew she was the one?
Okay.
When did you make that choice?
That's a very interesting question
Yeah.
because I was at a youth camp, only youth camp I ever went to
Yeah.
between my junior and senior year in high school. And I saw her walking across the, it's like a courtyard. She hadn't seen me yet, but I
Yeah.
saw her across the distance. And I heard her because she has always been loud. And so,
Spoken like a married man.
so I saw her walking across that. And I wasn't even really Christian. I wasn't serving God at the time. And I heard very strongly, distinctly in my spirit, that's going to be your next. That's going to be your wife.
Oh, wow.
And it threw me off. I went to, after that camp, I went to Navy boot camp. I went to university, and I go in this room because people had been inviting me to come to like this Christian organization. I didn't want to, but I thought these people are not going to get off my back if I don't. And so I went to the meeting. I stepped into that room, and I saw Linda across that room a year later. And the first thing I thought, that's going to be your wife, which scared me because I didn't want to rob society of this. You know,
There's a lot of options.
Yes,
right?
you know, yeah.
I wanted to make sure that every female had access if they wanted to.
As we all do at that age.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. That's
And
funny.
but we did start dating. I still wasn't a Christian. She was. That caused conflict. So we broke up. And
as you should, actually.
yes. And about a year later, we got back together, and we were married by the next year. And
How'd you find Jesus Christ?
that meeting that I went into, that was a Christian Chi Alpha college ministries meeting, and I started going because I saw her, and
That's the case for a lot of guys
see.
out there.
and
right?
about
Cute
three
girls.
and a half months later, got saved, began to really serve God. I mean, really serve God, and then. By the time I was 20, Lynn and I were married, and I was a youth pastor of a church.
Yeah. See, the thing is that we don't always know the path God wants us to take, but God understands us well enough, especially young men, to understand what we like.
Yes.
So to place the pretty girls inside of the meetings, very smart, very, very intelligent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Explains most
That is fantastic.
youth ministries
Oh, yeah.
out there these days. Pizza and cute girls will get the boys there. That's Scott Bottoms. He's joining us live here Jeff and Bill Show, filling in for Peter Boyles at the Colorado Republican State Assembly. All right, so now let's talk your speech.
Yeah.
Scott, I want to help people understand this. You're going to walk out onto a stage to 3,000 roaring people, excited, 4,000, 5,000, who knows how many people are here, but they're going to be excited to hear from you. What is it, the speech that you deliver? How do you connect with them and seal the deal to get 30% or more of delegates?
Well, I'm going to tell them who I am and what I'm going to do. I've been doing this for a long time, been a state rep for 4 years, and I'm not a state rep that just goes in and sits down. I fight. I really get the bills pushed. I try to get the information outside of what the Democrat Party is doing to destroy us, our families, our states, all that stuff. And I'm going to get up and talk about that. I'm going to basically give a kind of a quick synopsis of my platform. And then I'm going to hopefully be able to pump everybody up in here that we can do this November. We can. This is not hyperbole. I'm not guessing. We've got numbers from all kinds of things all over the state, all kinds of social media, all kinds of polling and everything. This is the year that the Democrats will pull away and vote for Republican governor, Secretary of State, Attorney General, Treasurer. This is the year that we're going to gain over 10 seats in the House. I thought it was going to be about 14, but we don't have some people in some of those races. And so we're looking at about 11 seats that we can flip. This is the room where this is going to be ignited here today. And I'm excited to get up there and say it.
Now, Scott Bottoms, I want to ask you about a few headwinds that we may run into. Technically, this would be Trump's 6th year as president. That's normally a bloodbath year for that party. That was Obama 2010-ish. No, 2014.
Yeah, 14.
Obama 2014. Bush 06. Tough years for the party in the president's office. How do you as Republicans either embrace what the president's doing or focus in on local issues that are driving a lot of the problems that Coloradans are facing? How do you engage in that dynamic?
Well, there's two sides to this.
Yeah.
Is the national platform and then our state right here. Interestingly, all of the Democrat numbers all over the United States, but specifically in the state of Colorado, are dropping like crazy. Nobody is interested. There was, in fact, I think I talked to Dan Kaplis about this a few days ago, that Governor Polis's numbers are dropping, Bennett's numbers are dropping, Hickenlooper's not, and then the Democrat House is dropping. The GOP in the state of Colorado right now has higher numbers than any of the major Democrat names, including the House and the Senate. Those numbers are the worst of the worst. Well, if you look at the national level, it's very, very similar. CNN keeps trying to want to say that Trump's numbers are down and that they're low here and they're low here and all this, but they can't get the information there. They can't get the polling to back it up. And Trump is staying strong. The Republicans are actually making a tick up in the country right now and making a couple tick ups in the state. And so we're not fighting an uphill battle like we've been fighting for the last 20-something years. We are the ones that have the moral high ground. We have the responsible high ground. We have the 2A high ground. We have the children, the family, the parental authority high ground. We are the ones that are driving the ship right now in the state of Colorado. Now, my concern is we've got Republicans that still are trying to move to the middle instead of realizing that's what's collapsing the Democrat Party is all of that. And to actually move to the right and say, look, no, we have some moral high ground right now, and we need to capitalize on it because parents, families, people are very concerned where we are right now in our state, and they want us to, and I'm using my tagline, they want us to reclaim Colorado.
That's Scott Bottoms joining us live down here. Jeff and Bill Show filling in for Peter Boyles. We are at the Colorado State Assembly. Yes, sir.
Am I filling in for Peter Boyles, or are you guys filling in for Peter Boyles?
We're filling in, but you're welcome to be a part of this.
Okay.
But we know you
but we've been here since 9, though.
Right.
There was nobody else here.
Now, I want to give you a chance to respond. We had Barb Kirkmeyer on the program on Wednesday. We talked about the Liberty scorecard. She has a 49% rating, an F on the Liberty scorecard. You, sir, have an A. She went on to say she didn't know who was behind the Liberty scorecard. She dismissed it, said it wasn't relevant. Oftentimes, they would pick things to vote on that she constitutionally was required to vote on. You, sir, have an A on the Liberty scorecard. what's your response to Barb Kirkmeyer? Is the Liberty Scorecard a good metric by which to measure lawmakers?
I not only have an A, I have a 98. I almost have 100 on the scorecard. That's just Liberty Scorecard. What about Colorado Union of Taxpayers? What about CPAC? All of these different groups. It is weird for me to hear that she said she doesn't know who runs the Liberty Scorecard. She has interacted with them. I have seen her interacting with them. She knows there's a board that takes care of Liberty Scorecard. There's a board that runs Colorado Union of Taxpayers. All of these groups have her rated in the F range, every single one of them. And the Colorado Union of Taxpayers is specifically fiscal ratings. And so she's on the JBC and she's getting an F by the fiscal rating of the state, the tax rating of the state, the money rating of the state. Part of the reason is because she does vote with Democrats more than all the other there are some Democrats that vote less with Democrats than she does. They have a higher score on a conservative scorecard called Liberty Scorecard. And I won the highest award for House and Senate for Colorado Union of Taxpayers this year. I stand against the budget. She says it's balanced. That is craziness. The average sixth grader could tell you that's not balanced. I could show them three things. They're taking money from the property trust fund. That is illegal. That belongs to the people of Colorado. They're funding bills with gifts, grants, and donations. Who's going to donate to a $50 million bill that is coming as part of the budget? This stuff is craziness. Our budget is broken. She knows who this is. She just is she's not voting properly, and it's bothering her that she's being held accountable.
Now, Scott Bottoms, we're up against a break here. We only got a few more questions. Are you the most conservative candidate? 18 candidates are going to take that stage. Are you the most conservative?
Hands down.
Well,
yes.
I think you got the ratings to be able to make that argument for
Yes.
sure. Now, sir, I was in the room, worked on Mike Kopp's team 2014. I've been doing a dozen years of these. I've watched folks walk out of this room at peak. I mean, super excited, all the energy. 2014, Mike Kopp goes on to finish fourth place. How do you keep the momentum going after you get on the ballot today?
Well, I'm the only one coming out of this assembly. You guys can call me on that if it doesn't happen.
You're the only one. You're going to get more than 70% in order to do
No, I'm going to get about 62%.
62, and then the rest will break down? Okay.
The rest will break down.
You're the only one coming out. Did you hear that, Billy?
Yeah, I
Did you
did.
hear that,
Wow.
Bill?
Yep,
You're
I
way
did.
down there, Bill. Did you?
Yeah, I know. I'm down at the end. They put me in the corner.
Wow, that's a big call. So that, you think, will be a very clear message. Colorado Republicans are behind you. You're going to go on to primary victory.
Yes. And if there's some way, and I'm not backing up on this, but if there's some way, there's only one other candidate that even has a hope of coming out of here today, and that's Victor Marks.
Yep.
If he gets over the 30%, that my numbers are still be so high that it'll send a strong message to everybody in the state, and specifically the Marks campaign. It might be time to hang it up and let somebody that knows the issues in the budget and what's actually going on to run this thing.
Will you get behind whoever is the nominee in June?
I will get behind anybody that comes out that wins in June, the primary. Even if people come out of this assembly, I don't anticipate. I will get behind anybody but Victor Marks.
Why is that?
Because I think he is corrupt.
Interesting. All right, that's Scott Bottoms. Scott, what's your website? How can people learn more?
ScottBottoms.com.
ScottBottoms.com. That's simple. ScottBottoms.com. We now have a sign battle going on here.
Yeah,
guys.
we do. It's kind of nice.
Describe the sign battle. Billy.
Yeah, basically you've got people that support Victor Marks making the loop around the base of the court. We're inside of an arena, so it's a basketball court. Everybody in the stands either showing support with the Victor Marks signs, but now we're rolling by the Scott Bottoms supporters, and all the Scott Bottoms signs are up, flashing in the face of the Victor Marks supporters and cheering loudly. So this is fun.
It is.
I enjoyed
now
this
starting
one.
to get a little raucous,
Yeah.
which is fun. Well,
That is good.
Scott Bottoms, state representative, one of the highest scores on the Liberty Scorecard. A 98, a true, tried conservative, fighting for conservative values at the state capitol. We sure appreciate your time today, sir.
Yeah,
Guys,
thank
it
you
is
so much.
always a pleasure. I do need a commitment from Bill.
Yeah, what?
Bill, next time I come on, we'll be past the assembly. We'll do all that. You got to come at me a little bit.
The thing here is today it's this is about politics. This is about you getting up there,
Here's
and I
the
wish
deal.
you all the luck in the world
You're
today.
winning him
I hope
over.
I hope you get through this.
That vitriol's no
Yeah.
longer there.
Oh, it's there, but it's for certain things. We'll get there. We'll get there, my friend. We appreciate
We'll continue the Jeff and
Thanks,
Bill Show.
guys.
News
Thank
Talk
you.
710 KNUS filling in for Peter Boyles. We'll be right back.
Peter Boyle Show, 710 KNUS. Jeff and Bill filling in, broadcasting live from Pueblo, Colorado. We are here at the CSU Pueblo campus inside of the Masai Arena. We are here live during the Colorado GOP party convention. Right now we are in the middle of a recess, supposed to be 15 minutes right now. Got a bunch of people supporting their candidate walking around the outline of the basketball court as we're going around back and forth and back and forth. This is looking fantastic. Everybody's getting excited.
Yeah, at this point, I think it's a bunch of bored people trying to keep the energy going because.
Oh, absolutely. That's what it is.
I don't.
They're trying to get up and around out of their seat, and they're trying to walk around because they're going to be stuck sitting like 18. What is it? 18
I don't
GOP
even know where
governor
we are.
nominees.
Let's see. Let me pull up the schedule on this.
Not listening to speeches. That's where we are. I'm sorry. I'm a little frustrated that we started this thing at 9 o'clock and we don't really even have a single candidate speech.
This
exactly
is
right. Absolutely ridiculous.
Look, I mean, it makes a fair argument that you guys want to run other stuff. Can you run a meeting?
Yeah, I know. That's kind of the thing is you're going to tell me about how we don't have election integrity and we can't do ballots, but you guys can't get the ballots printed on time? And can't identify people? This one's going slow. I'm excited to see what happens. It's been great to talk to Scott Bottoms and Victor Marks
I want to
and
ask you
everybody
about
else.
Scott. You said you won't endorse or support Victor Marks at all.
That's interesting.
What did you think?
I didn't expect that. That was out of left field.
I didn't expect that either.
Yeah. We got the Colorado GOP Assembly bingo card. That's been that was not on my bingo card. That was definitely not on the bingo card. I am surprised, and I'm curious how many other people inside of the GOP would make that choice. Now, I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that Scott Bottoms is right on his allegations that he said Victor is corrupt. But what I'm curious about is inside of this process, and maybe inside of a primary, are there going to be some hurt feelings? Will Victor Marks have stepped on some toes because he's gone outside the system? Are there going to be people that are reliable GOP voters that then will choose to sit it out or maybe even choose somebody else? It sounds like someone as even high-ranking as Scott Bottoms might make that choice. So I'm not just sitting here yelling at clouds. I'm not just making this up and spitting into the wind. We have someone that has dyed-in-the-wool Republican with Scott Bottoms, and he's saying that he can't support Victor Marks if he comes out of this. And how many other people could make that choice sitting in this room today?
Well, so what I've found
talk to me about
is,
it.
Look, this is a big inter-family spat.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right? And at the end of the day, there's going to be a handful of people that emerge, and then the spat will continue until June when the primary happens. Okay?
Yeah.
Then, after about 6 weeks, and the emotions have died a little bit, it becomes another choice. It could be Barb Kirkmeyer versus Michael Bennett.
Yeah.
It could be Victor Marks versus Phil Weiser. Okay? Could be Scott Bottoms versus Phil Weiser. Whatever.
Yeah.
And at that point, it becomes a clear new choice.
Yeah.
Because I remember the emotions. I remember going to the mat for my candidates and then watching my own emotions change because things changed. The choice has now changed.
Yeah.
And it's either Barack Obama and Mitt Romney at that point. And you're going, I definitely want Mitt Romney over Barack Obama. It's Mitt Romney.
The thing for me is I can see if you're talking about necessarily someone like a Scott Bottoms or someone that has been a long-time Colorado voter, someone that has been here for numerous cycles, especially an older voter, not a newer voter, but an older voter, I could see them sitting out an election cycle and saying, I'm mad enough at this candidate, and Democrats already run this place. I'm going to be okay not voting in this race, and then hopefully we will get a better choice because the party will have learned X, Y, or Z. Yeah. I heard that in previous cycles with certain candidates where the person that was nominated didn't seem to be as conservative enough, that because they were viewed as more of a rhino, that they were the people like, who was it, Joe Day, I think came out of it. He had a problem
Joe
with that.
Day.
Yeah, against the who was it, Hank?
Ron Hanks.
Ron Hanks, there we go.
By the way,
against Ron
he was
Hanks.
back on the ballot.
Yeah. So against Ron Hanks, there were a lot of people that are like, well, Joe Day isn't even close to what's really a conservative, so I'll go here and vote somewhere else, or I will hold my vote back. It wasn't a significant portion of voters,
do you know who was
but
the
it
best
existed.
performing Republican in that race?
No, who was?
Joe Day.
Yeah, see? And does that make...
And he was more moderate. He said he would implement Roe v. Wade.
Yep. Yeah. Which is
that's
a bridge
kinda
too
where
far
he
for a
stood.
lot of people.
But
and I
he
understand.
still got more votes
Yeah.
than Heidi Ganahl in that race.
Yeah.
So it's a fascinating analysis, but it's going to be a long day. As this show wraps up, which it is in the next few minutes here, I'm going to move over to x.com. I'll live tweet. I've got a microphone. I'll go down and interview some
Jeff is a
people.
glutton for punishments.
So I want to see how this plays out.
And he lost a bet, so he has to stay here.
Yeah, right. And I'm not going to feel comfortable just watching it online or reading about it later. I want to see what happens in the room in those 18 speeches that are going to be made, because people will have walked in supporting one candidate and they will change their minds. It can happen on that stage. I want to see it happen. I'm going to be watching it and following it. So go to x.com/Jeff Hunt. I'll be live tweeting, put some videos up there. There's some lawmakers I want to go down and interview, and we'll get some comments and all that other stuff. So,
and then
there's still a lot to do.
When we are back on Monday, that's something that we're going to be able to give you, is that Jeff and I are here in the building during this portion of it, and then Jeff sticking around and watching all the speeches. So we'll be able to talk about it. I'll have some recaps and stuff that I'll be able to read, but I got other stuff I got to do.
Like a life to live.
Yeah,
now, Bill,
going home.
I'm gonna pin you down on this.
Oh,
You've talked to Victor Marks. You've talked to Scott Bottoms.
Yeah.
You've seen the room here.
Yeah.
In fact, you've talked to John Brooks. You've
Yes, I
talked to
have.
Maria Orms. Many candidates here you have spoken to.
Yeah.
You're in the room now. Who comes out on the ballot?
Oh, man. The thing is, I don't think that Kirkmeyer needs to, because she's petitioning on.
Nope, she's not even. She's not going to be on the ballot.
So the thing is, she's not even going to be there. So that takes that one out. So basically, we're left with two of the big front runners and a possible third. So the question that we have to put on the table is, are either Scott Bottoms or Victor Marks, who are the front runners left there, are they going to crest together above 60% to shut out a possible third? So that's really what we got to do the math.
Exactly.
That's
right.
really how it works. So you got to figure, if we just do each one of them gets a third, that leaves space for another candidate. But the bottom line on that is, does either one of them come above 30%? I do believe that Scott Bottoms can get 30%. I believe Victor Marks can get 30%. Can Meixel get 30%? Can some of the others? But I do, honestly, what I'm seeing in here, I think Bottoms goes above 30%, and I think Marks is above 30%, and I think they're the only two that come out. I think based on percentages, they shut everybody out. That's my prediction.
That's exactly where I am, too. I think that's where we land this airplane. I think two candidates are going to come out of this. But, as I said, anything can change.
Anything can.
And it may still be Monday before this thing's wrapped up.
It
By
might
the way,
just
got to
be.
give a shout out to Elbert County, best county. People are texting and listening out there today.
Hey,
love to hear from
thank you so
our
much.
neighbors in
Sure
Elbert
appreciate
County.
you guys.
Well, follow me on x.com/Jeff Hunt. I'll continue the conversation over there. Billy, you survived.
Yes, I did. And
Nobody
threw anything at me. It was fantastic.
In fact, they all wanted to come see you. I told
Yeah,
you
they
you're
did.
the spice on the show, buddy.
I think it helped that they put us up in the rafters. That
We'll
helped.
be back Monday. Thank you to Peter Boyles for allowing us to be a part of this. You're listening to Jeff and Bill Show, News Talk 710, KNUS in Denver.
Yes, and big thanks to Adam Walker. Big thanks to John Corbliss. Big thanks to Mark Crowley and his beautiful bride who made the trip with him down here to Pueblo. Without each and every one of you guys putting in extra work, we could not have done this without you. Thanks for spending extra time with us today on 710 KNUS. And thank you so much for the godfather of Denver radio, Peter Boyles, for making room so we could take over your house for just one single day. We do not deserve it, sir. You still are the best. Thanks for making space for us. We'll be back on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. 710 KNUS.